Hello everybody, welcome to another Guild Wars 2 jumping puzzle video. Today we're going to look at the Soaring Copse jumping puzzle here. And I'm with a few buddies of mine. And we're going to try this out. If I fail, I'll probably just make, some cuts in the video so you don't have to watch me falling over and over again. But this one's pretty tricky, so let's take a look at it. We start here with talking to this person and then interacting with this magic orb, which takes you to the start of the puzzle way up in the sky. And we have this ability that you can go to the checkpoints if you fall. So there is an achievement for this jumping puzzle, doing the entire thing without using the special in skill there for checkpoints. But I won't be going for that in this run. We'll just be doing a casual run. But there is a special achievement for... that guy fell. And I probably will fall too. Yep. Before you hit the ground, it's good to glide, maybe, so you don't facepalm. But yeah, by using that skill, you fail the achievement for not using checkpoints. Okay, let's try again. This is a pretty hard jump here, because you got to glide kind of over to these little itty-bitty blue mushrooms. And then do some little hops from one to the other. Careful not to hit your head on the rocks and things. And just kind of get into position and do little hops. Up hop and forward. And then there's these other mushrooms you have to jump to that they're very oddly shaped. So be a little careful as you're walking on them. Whoa, don't want to overshoot. And then of course these are really annoying, these triangle shaped mushrooms. You gotta kind of jump and land on the top. Oh, there we go. Skip's right behind me. Let's see if he can make it. And then we have some more little ones here. That other one over there is kind of a fake, I think. So we want to glide around the corner here. Following Wrestling Maw. And be kind of careful here. It's a little... the edges are a little small, but you just want to jump up to the top here. Alright, and we got to our first kind of checkpoint. So next time if you fall, you can start right here. So it's kind of nice that there are checkpoints, but a lot of tricky jumps in this puzzle. Looks like Wrestling Maw is going to fly over there. So there's a bunch of gliding to different floating sections. And there's a lot of kind of false areas that look like, they would be jumping puzzle, but they're actually not. So I came over here because these rocks looked promising. But they're actually probably not. I mean, you can... Oh, so I think Wrestling Maw went the correct way there, around the other side of the of that floating island. But you can just sort of jump up the rocks there and fail like I did, but it doesn't actually really lead anywhere. So let's go ahead and kind of fly over here where Skip is. So this is kind of the way you're supposed to go. It's a little tricky since you can't see it from the checkpoint. And I'm going to hug the wall here, so I'm going to get some funny camera angles. But yeah, from here we actually have to jump to this other little blue mushroom sticking out of the side. So a little tricky corner jump onto a very small platform. Whew, and somehow I made it. And I guess Wrestling Maw did not, but he's going to try again. But yeah, this little spot's a little precarious. Careful not to hit your head. Also, you can see the rock is right above me. Now, you can actually do this jumping puzzle with the bot, the Jade Bot ability, and not get any punishments, you know, for any achievements or anything. So you can cheese a little bit of it with the Jade Bot, but I'm going to do it without the Jade Bot just to show how it's done. Because some people might not have the Jade Bot extra gliding ability. So you can get up here, and this is kind of a nice, like, oh hey, halfway point. There's a treasure chest, but it's empty. But actually, if you search this treasure chest, you'll get a little bit of karma, even though it says it's empty. So it's just kind of a false, you know, ending there. Haha, fooled you. You got lots more to go. So you can see there's a bunch of stuff over there that you can jump on. And there's actually 2 different routes you can take at this point that kind of go around and end up in that green spot kind of to my right there. And so there's actually 2 different ways to go. You can go around this on the other side of this floating island, or you can go straight over to that other little island. Rastlin Maw seems to be giving up, going back to the checkpoint. Maybe he's afraid of heights. But yeah, I'll try showing one of the routes, and then I'll show the alternative route at the end of the video on the sky scale. But I'm going to try going for this one over here, which is not so obvious. But we're going to kind of fly over, and you can see the final goal there, kind of in the upper left. But it's a little too high for us to get to. So we're going over here with Askep. Oh, and I took the wrong side. But that's where you want to be, where Askep landed. So let me go ahead and try again here. It's kind of a little interesting. You got to fly right through this sort of underhang of rocks. Careful not to overshoot and land on this mushroom. And then we're going to jump a bunch. And this can get you high enough to go over to kind of the green section over there. But there's another way to get there too. So, and I will show that later. They're both pretty precarious, so yeah, once again, aim your camera down for these precarious little jumps from little mushroom to little mushroom. You know, just do little hops, hop up and press forward, and then release forward so you fall straight down. It's the best way to do these. But yeah, there's this route, which gets you to this point, and then you can just glide over to this green spot here. That's nice and big. And you can see Askep there, he took the other route, which was the opposite side. And I don't think you want to go down there where Rastlin Maw went. I think that's just a dead end. But we're just going to go over to this nice big green patch, and this is where you want to be. And that's where we want to be over there, the magic orb. And to get over there, we can just easily glide from the little, see where Askep is over there. We can glide there from this little blue mushroom way up here. And the alternate route is kind of underneath me. You could have come up that way to get to this little blue mushroom. There's a way down below, and then from here you can just glide to the orb. And we've got our next checkpoint. And now comes another tricky, brutal part. We're going to go over there, where you can see my 2 friends are hanging out. And you got to climb up on those mushrooms over there and then glide over kind of near where the final goal is there. So there goes Rasslin Ma. Now it seems like when I did this before, you can kind of jump up here. There's like a little bit of a ledge, and then you can jump to the sort of, grayish, brownish mushroom there, but it doesn't always work. Like there's a little itty bitty lip here you can kind of get on and keep hitting my head. See if I can get to it. Nope. I just kind of wanted to show that you could actually sort of jump up this to the mushroom. But there we go. So you can stand here, and yeah, but if you hit your head, you fall down again. But there's an easier way to do it. It just takes longer. Getting up on this kind of rock over here, and then gliding to it. Except I probably should have glided to the mushroom. Can't get up that side. So my first time I actually did this a little differently, but yeah, glide to this mushroom. But there is an easier way to jump up here. So we'll get nice and high here. I'll let Askep maybe be the guinea pig and follow him. So we got on these mushrooms, and now we're going to do another long glide. Oh, I messed up. All the way over to this platform here. But I just missed it. So let's try that again. It's kind of a cool puzzle, being able to sort of glide around. And but yeah, some of the jumps are really tricky and perilous. So it can be frustrating if you fall off and have to keep going back to a checkpoint over and over again, but at least there's checkpoints. So it does have that going for it. And of course, if you're not sure, you can always fly around this area with your sky scale, if you have a sky scale, and kind of take a look at the jumping puzzle before you actually start it from the bottom, because once you start it, of course, you can't use mounts anymore until you finish. Okay, so yeah, this is where I wanted to go. And you see there's a bunch of tricky stuff down there. If you glide down there, you have to use those mushrooms to jump up, but then you want to go on these little roots here. There's like 3 little roots with gaps in between them. And we want to kind of jump over here. So yeah, it's a little hard to see, but you actually want to go through that little gap there on those 3 roots. And then from here, a little bit of a corner jump. Maybe glide a little bit if you feel like you need to onto this mushroom. And just around. And then, of course, lots more little itty bitty mushrooms, which are kind of frustrating because it's such a small thing to stand on, as you can see. And there's Askep waiting for us, gloating. And you may wonder how to get up there, but we actually have to go around the corner here. So there's some tricky corner jumps right here onto some more triangular precarious mushrooms. So kind of get close to the edge here without falling off the tree. And we're just going to jump here. And this little jump can be tricky, so just take your time. Jump here. My Black Widow keeps getting in the way. And then from here, we can glide over. And we'll keep going, climbing up these mushrooms. Over there you can see the second checkpoint. Now here's a pretty nasty glide. You have to glide to these mushrooms over here. Rastlin Maw there, he actually made it to the second one. As you can see there, so it's possible to glide all the way to the second one. But I'm a coward, so I'm going to try for the first one here. Oh, and I overshot. Okay, so let me just show you real quick without you having to watch me do all the jumps again. So there's those two mushrooms that I missed, and then as you come around the corner here, there's some even more precarious jumps, which I almost failed there with these three more little blue mushrooms. So you gotta kind of go up here. These three. And I failed. Yeah, make sure to glide so you don't faceplant. So here's the three mushrooms again where I failed. That way you don't have to see me doing this part over and over again. But yeah, you just jump up these three, and then we're gonna climb up here where this tropical bird is. And then from here, we're pretty much near the end. You can see the magic orb there. Gonna glide over here, and since we've got a little bit of ground at least, these last three mushrooms, at least you don't have to worry about falling if you're not careful, or if you are careful. If you're not careful, you will fall. But it looks like you can kind of jump to the little one from here on the left, which I tried many times, but actually you can't. You have to do it from the log, which is annoying because then the camera angle kind of zooms into your character, so it's really hard to get onto this little itty bitty blue mushroom, but you have to do it from the log. And it's easy to slip off, so there we go. So just take your time and be real slow at it. And then this next jump is also a little tricky. If you jump, the other mushroom can kind of push you off. And then you are back where you started again here. So let's get back on the log. Do this a couple times. I almost fell there. So just be real cautious at this part. These last three little mushrooms. And yeah, see, if you kind of jump straight up and press forward, then you just slide off, and it didn't work. So what you got to do is a little bit of a corner jump to the second one, so that the bigger third one at the top there doesn't kind of push you off. So even if I stand here on the edge, and let's try jumping, see, I sort of slide because the other mushroom is actually preventing you from getting up there. Rastlin Maw will show us how it's done here. So he's going to get up there and watch closely. So a little bit of a corner jump there, you see? So kind of around the other mushroom, and then you can get up here. So it's a little frustrating, a little tricky, but if you do a little bit of a corner jump there, then it's not too bad. And you get up here and analyze, and we are done! That is the Soaring Copse jumping puzzle. It's kind of cool, actually, trying to figure out how to get up here, and there are some tricky, frustrating jumps, but I recommend trying it out. It's worth a mastery point the first time. And there's also daily rewards, not the greatest, but there are the 3 or 4 checkpoints you can see there. Now let me go ahead and show the alternate route. So just on my sky scale real quick, I'm going to show you the alternate way that you can do this. There's one part where there's two different directions that you can take. There's the treasure chest up in there, but it is possible to fly around this side. If you look down there, you can see some platforms that you can jump to, see a bunch of mushrooms. So you can kind of see the jumping puzzle path down there. And then you come up here and you go around here. There's some mushrooms down there you got to jump on. And you kind of go through there. You come up these. And then there's a bunch more little blue ones. The path should be pretty obvious there. Brings you up to here. And this is the spot kind of where they joined. If you remember, this is where I glided to, this big green section. But I glided from the other location. So, yeah, to get a perspective, this is the fake treasure chest in here. The empty chest. And when you come out, you can either fly around, down there to the right, or you can go the way I did, which is from here, and I flew over to this one. And kind of went under there and then landed on that one. And then I climbed up, this place. Climbed around the corner. They both have some tricky jumps, so it's not like one is more difficult than the other, but I think this route was the easier one. And then from here, of course, you just jump to that green spot. And this is kind of where the two routes join each other, is right here. And you can see down there, where you came from. And then from here, you just go up to the little blue one again, this little blue one here, like I did before, and use it to fly down here. So that is the jumping Copse puzzle, jumping puzzle. Want to thank everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Try it out. Hope this helps you. Check out my main channel, YSGuru Japan Gaming. Links in the description for more great gaming content. See you in the next one.